Welcome in RGC. Just gonna do another welcome to RGC video. This one here we're gonna be covering over um, pretty much the productions all the way up until producing kerosene. So just want to show the process to get to making your own kerosene and diesel in the game. It takes a lot of different productions working together to get there, and I'm just gonna kind of show you the process. So you understand, the steps you need to go to get to this point. I consider this more of like an end game goal that you would set when you're starting out on a map. So yeah, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of effort to get to this point. And so yeah, let's get started. We're going to be on our server, the RGC public server. I already have everything placed in on the server. We've been playing on the server for close to 4 months, so we got a lot done, and it's easier for me to show you when it's already laid out. So keep in mind that everything has already been placed. It's a creation of what you want to. So take some tips and ideas of how we have things set up on here, but make it your own. That's what's great about Backcountry Map. It allows you to create your own production areas and choose a spot in the map and go with it. So what you see right now is the oil derrick and the pumps. This is where we're starting out, but we're going to head up to the dirt processing area, because that's basically where you need to start to get to this point. And we'll explain as I go why. So yeah, we're just going to fly up to our dirt processing area real quick, and you can see all the productions that we have up here. And basically you need to keep most of these going in order to be able to have your oil derricks be functional. We just chose a spot here in the mountain top and removed the dirt, and we are running it down to the dirt processing plant here. So I'm going to go into the menus and show you basically the path of what you need to do. Dirt processing plant is the first thing that you would want to place down. What this processing plant's going to do is going to break it up into, we got that's the asphalt, this material, it's a material processor. So this material processor does dirt, river sand, and overburden. So you can use 3 different types of materials basically that will process into different things. Mostly you're going to get out of the dirt and overburden. You're going to get pea stone, tailings, sand, gravel, iron ore. The river sand's going to give you 1 extra for river sand process basically. So your dirt, most important thing out of here is the sand, gravel. Even the pea stone and the tailings as well is important to be producing, because you're going to need concrete in order to have good foundations for your oil derricks and whatnot. So we're going to spend a lot of time in here just going over what each production does, so you get an understanding of why you need to go through all these steps. So first thing is dirt processor. Put that down, or material processor is actually what it's called. Put that down, process your dirt, get enough pea stone, tailings, sand, gravel, and iron. Iron's important for your next process. The next thing that you would probably want to lay down is a stone factory, because you want to process your pea stone and tailings. That's going to give you stone powder, which is important for your cement. Alright, so you can place them all as you get the money, but dirt process is important. You can actually sell off some things to get extra money for the other productions, because they are going to get expensive. But so let's go down to the stone factory down here. Again, we have a lot of stuff on our server, but I figured this would be the best way for me to show you guys, since it's already in the game. It's going to go a little bit smoother. So your stone factory is the same kind of deal. It does multiple different productions within it. So it does stone, pea stone, tailings, and limestone. So your pea stone can be distributed in here to get your stone powder, and that's going to be used for your cement. But you also need lime for your concrete. So it's important for you to use this stone processor and dig up some limestone. You can only dig it out of the ground, so you're going to need to either use your dirt pit that you're using and just switch your terraforming into limestone and start digging that to bring it down here, or you can do what we did. We had our own little limestone area separate from the dirt where we got our limestone from and then shipped it down to the stone factory. So yeah, you can get this up and running. It's going to give you other things too besides stone powder. So it gives you some gravel. We have it set to distribute. It's okay to sell this off because you're making gravel from your dirt factory, your dirt processing, whatever, material processor. You're getting gravel from that too, so you're gonna have a lot of gravel. You can get a little extra income from either setting it to sell or moving it yourself manually with trucks to get it sold. But you really want to set up to your stone powder. We're setting it to selling right now. We can change that output to distribute. We make so much of this because we have tailings from our wash plant too that we have going in here, plus our dirt processor. So we get a surplus of minerals going in here, which gives us too much stone powder. Then we can set it to sell and get extra income that way. Alright, so that's the stone factory. So we got a dirt processor down, sending materials over to a stone factory. We're loading in limestone from our pit, bringing it to the stone factory so to get the extra lime. Alright, again, this may get a little bit confusing here, but I'm trying to go step by step on what I would do to get to the end game, which is going to be the kerosene, your refinery, right? So now cement. So we got your stone factory in, we're going to want to lay down a cement factory. Then go back up to the top. And I'll show these all in the game too. I can show you how I got it set up. It's basically just all in the same area here. Just kind of place it where it feels good. The closer you are, you're going to save a little bit of money on distribution cost. So it does, if you set it to distribute, which we have a lot of our stuff set up to, as it's going to give you a charge. It's not going to take any of the materials, so you're not going to lose how much you have. So 1,000 gravel, 1 million gravel will be distributed eventually because it's full. That's why we're stocking up on it to the plant. But the further the plant away, the more money it costs for it to be distributed. So it's a formula that's in the game that's you really can't change. But if you have it across the map, that's going to be a little bit more expensive. The closer you keep your productions together, the cheaper that cost would be. Or you can do it manually, set it to store, and you can move it in. Like the truck, you saw that truck that was driving around when we started. That's set up with auto drive, and I'm moving some materials around with that from the storage into other factories using auto drive. So you can do the same thing with these factories from factory to factory. So yeah, so we can go up to the cement factory here. We can see we're full with cement because we make a lot of this stuff and it gets distributed. It gets full really quickly. As long as you're moving a lot of dirt, building up a lot of lime, and making a lot of stone powder, you can see how quickly this stuff can get filled up. So that's good, right? It is distributing, so whenever we need it in the concrete factory, it's going to distribute. If the concrete's not running, it's going to keep building up. So we got to make sure we have the concrete active and it's actually using up the cement that's in the concrete factory. Because you're using the cement in the concrete, that's pretty much adds an extra step to make concrete. So your cement factory needs sand, lime, stone powder. So we're making lime and stone powder with the stone factory, and we're getting the extra sand from the dirt processing plant. Now you can kind of see how everything is starting to work together. You need to have it all going in order to be productive, to reach that goal. So we got cement, now we got concrete. Same deal, dirt processor does the gravel, does the sand. You're getting gravel from your stone factory as well. That's why we have it full, because we're making a lot of gravel. There's a lot of sand in here, probably because we ran out of one or the other and the sand started building up in here. And keep in mind, almost all these productions will need power. We're full on concrete as well. You can see here we're doing pretty well on our productions. We can sell this stuff off so we can process more, because right now we're not going to be processing that much unless our concrete's being used by our oil derricks to get this to go down, and that's where I'm going to be going here shortly. So the next step, once you get your cement and your concrete up and running and things distributing around, you can set the sell at first just to get some extra income. Like I said, it's kind of a strategy on your end on what you want to do with your outputs here. Your next thing you're going to need is a steel factory, because you're going to need steel in your pipes to run your oil derricks. So we can go down to steel factory here and see how this is set up. Alright, so your steel factory, 3 different products in here, steel, pipe, and metal, so 3 different productions basically. And we can see we have everything in here running, so it is taking in the taking in the iron and the coke coal and things like that to make it. So that being said, we need coke coal, so there's another process that you need to set up in order to supply your steel factory with this. So you need a coking factory as well, and that just takes coal. So you're going to move coal into your coking factory to produce this coking coal. I can go up to that production as well. Once again, we got like 5 or 6 productions going on here in order to reach that goal. As each one's pretty expensive, so it's going to take a little bit to get this going. But it's worth it, and it's a fun little process to get to the end game. Like I said, with the kerosene and the oil production. So you can see that information here. Empty pallets is going to be needed in here as well. You can buy them directly using the production revamp. You can click on it and just set buy. That's going to cost you a pretty penny for it. It doesn't need a lot of pallets, so 15,000 gets you 10,000 liters of basically of empty pallet. It doesn't need a lot. It only needs 5 pallets. It's pretty much what you can be putting your steel pipe and metal on. You can put it on pallets, right? So you need that. A lot of people just buy it because it is quite a little bit of a process to get the empty pallets. You just have to set up your logging basically operation. You're gonna need a sawmill which cuts it into boards, and you're gonna need your boards to bring it to your carpentry. Then your carpentry needs to make your pallets. So it's another 2-step process in order to get that distributed into your steel factory. And a lot of other productions will all need steel and power. And I can show you guys how to set up power too. Again, this is going to be try to get this into 30 minutes just to kind of go over and get your brain understanding how my brain was working when I was setting up all these productions for you, to give you a little bit of extra to the game, so it's not just farming and that's it. So sand, your iron ore, that's all comes from your dirt processor. So you keep your dirt processor going, you're going to be distributing your iron ore into here, your sand. You get your lime from your stone factory. So there's 2 different places you need your lime, right? You need to make concrete, and you also need it in your steel. So keep that in mind, and obviously the power and the empty pallets, we just talked about that. So I'm just going to go up to the coking coal area real quick so you understand how the coal factory, I think it's up here. So coking factory, we got 2 of them set up on our server. It's very simple. You bring the coal in, it's going to give you coke, coal, and tar. Your tar can be distributed into your asphalt factory once you get to that. Asphalt's all pretty much by itself. You don't need to, it's not going to be used for anything else. It's not going to be distributed into your asphalt, into another production. It's just a money maker. You sell your asphalt basically. So tar is important for that. It's a good money, good income once you get your asphalt factory set up. But yeah, you just bring your coal into their coking factory, and you get your coke coal. Alright, so you got our coking factory set up. You got the dirt processor, the first thing we did. The stone factory, the second thing we did. Cement would be the 3rd factory. Concrete would be the 4th factory. 5th would be the steel. Alright, then the coking plant kind of goes with the steel because you need a coking factory in order to have the coking coal for your steel. Next, you can start setting up your derrick. So find a nice clear area, whatever. How it works is the oil derrick produces a output of pump, and mud. That's all it produces. The mud can be just sold off or do what you want with it. It's kind of useless. That's how it is in real life too. When you have oil derricks, when you're drilling, you can get a lot of slurry or mud that is recycled and thrown, and here. We're just gonna sell it to get rid of it. You can move it to another place, but again, it's just kind of there to irritate you, right? What you really need to get is pump. Again, it's, in a realistic sense, pump is really made out of oil derrick. But how I wanted it to be is I wanted it so you have to set up your oil derrick in order to get your pumps running. If I didn't have a product that went into the oil pumps from the derrick, then you could have skipped the whole oil derrick. You wouldn't even need to have a derrick. You could have just placed a pump down. You get what I'm trying to say? So in order for you to have use of a derrick, I had to make it so you had to use a material out of the derrick for the pumps to run. That being said, how I have it set up is one oil derrick, as long as it's running constantly, can supply 6 pumps. So lay down one derrick, put your steel, your concrete, your pipe, your diesel. So you're gonna have to purchase the diesel at first and distribute it in there, and water. Again, you can buy water too. It's expensive to buy it directly from here, but you can set up a little buy station right next to it and distribute it that way. Or how I do it is it's right near a pond or a lake. We just back our trailer up into the pond and bring the water over to it. But once that's all set up and you have a good little consistent production of pump, you can start setting up your oil pumps. Right now we have 6 set up next to it, and as long as, again, the oil derrick is constantly running, we'll be getting supplied enough pump to do it. You also need to make sure it is diesel and pipe and concrete. This is why the concrete is important, because you need a lot of it to keep all your oil pumps going. Depends on how many you have. The more pumps you got, the more crude oil you're making, the more money you're going to be getting overall. All your crude oil is set up. We have it set up to distributing right now. You can ship it yourself. We have our crude barges that can be used to send down the river or whatever to your refinery. Again, the further away, the more your expenses will be. We have a pipeline set up. It's to reenact the distributing. We don't have to have a pipeline. We just figured to role play it. We'll set it up, and I'm going to show you all this here in game. So I just want to go over all the production chains and show you guys what they are in the menu. Then we're going to go out and actually go through all of them in the map itself. But oil pump, you need your diesel, your pipe, your concrete. That's it. So once you have all those other productions going, everything is distributing nicely and flowing. It's all automated. All you need to do at that point is have your dirt being moved, right? So you need to load up your dirt, your limestone, and your coal. So those 3 minerals are the most important in this game that you need to have in order to reach this end game of producing kerosene, right? So after you get your oil pumps down, everything is all good. You're setting it up. You gotta just have to distribute. Doesn't really matter how you're getting it out of here. As long as it's going, you need to have your oil refineries set up. We have 2 refineries to keep up with the pumps here. So your crude oil is coming directly into your refinery. All you need to do is supply power, and those refineries are going to give you diesel and kerosene. We have our kerosene set to distribute on 1, I think, on both of them right now, because kerosene is needed in other productions too. Our town and all our residential properties all need kerosene to keep going. But in this video here, I'm going to touch base a little bit on the residential in the town, but I kind of just want to show you the process of how to get to running your oil, or making your kerosene, sorry. And that's it. I'm going to go over it again on the outside. I just wanted to show you in the production chains menus, kind of the process of getting it there. Once again, you need to have your dirt processor plant down first, producing your minerals there, your dirt. Is going to be coming into iron, gravel, sand, tailings, whatnot. That's going to be distributed into your stone factory, your pea stone, and your stone. Going to make the stone powder that you're going to need for the cement process. And also in your stone factory, you need your limestone to be in process to make lime, which is distributing into your cement as well. You're making your cement. It's the same thing, sand and all that stuff from your dirt processing plant to go into your concrete, to make your concrete. Once you get your concrete being made, that's going to be distributed down into your oil derricks, your oil pumps and whatnot. But in the meantime, you get your steel factory going to get your pipe, your steel that's needed for your oil pumps and your oil derricks as well. And that's basically the process. You need a coking factory in order to get your coke coal to power your steel factory. A lot of information. I know it's a lot going on there. That's kind of why I wanted to put a little video together to show you. So this is our dirt processing plant here. This is our stone factory, so we don't need to distribute it very far, right? And this is the concrete setup and our cement. Everything is very close together. These are the most important ones here. And then we got our steel and the coking plant right next to the steel, because it's not getting distributed very far. Save us a little bit of money on cost. So that's basically how we get it all set up. Those are the most important ones. On the far side here is the asphalt. Again, that's just to make money on the asphalt there. It takes a lot of this minerals from our dirt processing plant and our stone factory to run the asphalt, so it's all relatively close. And we're gonna head back down to where the oil derrick is and kind of talk about that. So again, I put the oil derrick right kind of in the middle. We're gonna put some more pumps around here, probably put another derrick up here and add some more pumps in the background. Like I said, one derrick can run 6 pumps. But this is how we place it here. We have a storage that we can put the crude oil in. And we actually can use the barge here, the crude barge, whatever you want to call it, oil barge, and fill it up and bring it down to the refinery this way. That's how we started doing it until we set up our pipeline, and I'm going to follow the pipeline down to our refinery. This is all role play here. You don't have to have a pipeline. We just wanted to, in order for us to distribute, I said like a little competition for the guys. It's like, hey, if we want to set this on and be automated, we have to put a pipeline in. So we cleared up a little road, we made a road, flattened it out, and we laid our pipeline. It was a pretty good little project there. Yeah, so now we're down here at our refineries. Again, they're pretty close by. If we need to distribute anything in from one or the other, which we don't, they're the same thing, but they are quite a ways away from our oil derricks. But we gotta take the little extra cost on distributing it for distance. But it's pretty cool that we reenacted actually bringing our crude, because it was fun to do it by ship. Again, we had to offload it into the storage and then transport it by truck from the storage into the refineries. It's a pretty cool of a process. Once you reach this part of your career, it's pretty rewarding, so you kind of make it a little more of a challenge, and that's what we did with delivering it by the ship and manually doing it. But yeah, that and all said, that's basically the process to get crude oil into a refinery to make your kerosene and diesel. A lot of steps, a lot of information there. Just kind of slow it down if you need to follow through kind of how I was saying it. But just real quick, we have a little bit more time in this video. The kerosene, once you produce that, you will need it to supply your residential properties, and this is the residential area that we set up here. All these housings needs kerosene. So again, we have it set to distribute. It's automatically doing it. You can reenact it like you're an oil kerosene delivery driver if you want. That's what's kind of cool about this. You can drive your truck up, deliver kerosene to all these properties if you like. Also, these properties are producing trash, so you can also do that, like a trash pickup guy, if you want to drive around and pick up your trash or whatever throughout the town. But like again, I'm just going to briefly go over the residential stuff in this video. But yeah, it's a really good way to make money, because you're going to get rent every month, basically every day, from all these properties. Plus, it's producing trash, which is recyclable energy. You can take your trash and bring it to a BGA, and that produces the power that you're going to need to run these properties. You need power, you need kerosene to keep all these properties going. Same thing with the town. The town's going to need kerosene. The town is one big production. We have other productions going around here too. That's a different use for mostly for the farming and the sawmill stuff. But the town produces trash and also gives you monthly income, but you need to keep it full of power and kerosene. So another reason why you want to produce your kerosene is to keep this going. It's very profitable to have your town running for a passive income. But yeah, just once again, I'm briefly going to go over step by step how you get to your crude. I keep saying crude, but how to get to kerosene. This is a little canal here that we built for our ships to get in from the oil derrick area. We drive our ship right out through. We actually built that in game. Give you another little idea of some fun things to do. But just gonna fly up here to the production area once more and kind of go over it once again. So you need to dig into your dirt pit using terraforming. That's what we do on this map. Bring all your dirt, process it. That after you process that, that's going to be distributing into your stone factory and your cement and your concrete, because you're going to need sand and all those, and you're going to need gravel and whatnot for all those. Your stone factory is where you're going to bring limestone. So you're going to dig limestone out of your pit, or you can dig limestone out of, we dug it out of the mountain here. We have a little tunnel that we built, and we dig in our limestone from there. Bring that to your stone factory so you can make some lime. You're going to need your lime for your concrete cement process. So yeah, your cement's going to go into your concrete. Then you're going to have to get your steel factory going, so get your pipe and your steel for your derricks and whatnot. Your coking factory, which is there, needs to be fueled up with coal in order to produce the coking coal that needs to go into your steel. After you get the steel going, then you can start laying down your oil derrick and then your pumps from there. So yeah, appreciate it, guys. Again, it's quite a process. I'm not going to break it down individually. Once you understand how productions work, just look at the menu. It all tells it how everything works here. Once you get your derrick down, or your dirt processing plant down, you just look and see what you need for materials, what it's going to output. We'll go down to it here. So your dirt processor, again, just going to go over this so you guys understand it. You put your dirt in, you're going to get pea stone, tailings, sand, gravel, and iron out of it. River sand. Kind of tells you there too, I guess. Is an easier way to look at it. How much each kick-off, or whatever you want to call it, each cycle, it's going to take 10,000 dirt and give you out 800, 1,250, 1,800. That's pea stone, that's tailings, that's sand, that's gravel, that's iron. That's how that works there. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, this series I'm doing here, I hope it helps a lot. You guys understanding how RGC runs things and what the mods do for you and all these productions and stuff, and I hope it's all working out for you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.